From Delta receiving several awards to adding unbelievable features to their planes, here's how Delta is destroying every other airline.
Delta Airlines announced it's giving its workers a $1.6 billion bonus.
LA World Airports and Delta Airlines held a ribbon cutting to officially open the 8 new gates.
And to start with, Delta topped the charts as the most on-time airline in 2022. Unlike most airlines that constantly get delayed, Delta recorded an 84.1% on-time arrival, making punctuality a priority. Now that's impressive. But this wasn't the only thing that the airline did right, because Delta also rewarded some enticing upgrades to its customers, which, simply put, are just beautiful. The airline embarked on a $12 billion+ investment to transform its airport terminals from coast to coast, and this upgrade can already be seen at New York's JFK Airport. Along with this, the Atlanta-based airline has also made some big changes to their SkyMiles frequent flyer program. Usually, customers at the higher level of status were given yearly upgrade certificates, but the airline made it painfully stressful for customers to use their upgrades by calling Delta. So the airline decided to make a change and revealed that Platinum and Diamond Medallion members would be able to use their upgrade certificate when booking online, which made the process way easier. But unfortunately, all these upgrades came at a price, as many customers also lost some lavish privileges. Most customers who fly with Delta use their frequent flyer program. These points that are offered to passengers are then accumulated towards gifts such as airline tickets, business first class upgrades, etc. But it looks like the program now offers way less value for more cost. Usually, if you wanted to enjoy the perks of SkyMiles, you could have flown in economy with as low as 100,000 miles. But now, even an economy class ticket costs as much as 500,000 miles. Now that's just ridiculous. And as a result, this made several customers unhappy, which kinda even became a headache for the airline. But it turns out the airline had other tricks up its sleeve to make their customers happy again, which they did by resolving a huge problem. As we all know, many airlines' customer care services are just horrible. Some of us even pray not to have a flight problem because calling the customer care lines is just a nightmare. But turns out, Delta found a way to make customer support efficient. The airline assembled a team of knowledgeable operators who attend to every problem swiftly. And the secret weapon they use? Twitter. Even if a customer just mentions the airline in their tweet, an operator offers a solution to the problem. Isn't that incredible? But trust me, that's nothing, because what they did to their employees is simply a genius move. Most US airlines pay salaries to their employees based on negotiations made by their union of workers. But not Delta, because instead of just assigning salaries, the airline made a profit-sharing structure of compensation where workers earn based on the profit made by the airline. So big bucks for the airline mean big bucks for its employees too. Although it might not work for several airlines due to inconsistencies in their profit, Delta employees are very happy with this, simply because, well, the airline earns quite a lot. And after considering this, many employees of other airlines even decided to make a huge change. Some unions have already suggested to their members to go work for Delta. They outrightly said in an email that they should apply to Delta now. God damn, that was blunt. But no one can blame them though, because besides the huge salaries, Delta employees also enjoyed some amazing bonuses after the airline revealed that it would be paying $61 million in bonuses to its employees. Clearly, it seems that Delta is quite generous, but turns out it wasn't that easy for Delta to be successful, as they also had to tackle a challenge raised by their pilots, a challenge that would have made them hugely vulnerable. Since pre-pandemic, pilots had been creating problems for airlines due to constant decline of new pilots. And then the pandemic came, which made everything worse as airlines had to cut down costs by forcing several of their pilots to retire early. But since the pandemic ended, the demand for global travel has gone even higher than before. But unfortunately, the number of available pilots reduced drastically. Gone are the days when a pilot would be on standby in case one pilot falls sick. Now flights get canceled or delayed if the assigned pilot has an emergency. Just like most of the airlines, Delta also suffered from this, which is why they had to find a way of luring more pilots in. They figured that if they treated their current employees, especially pilots, better than other airlines, they would attract more employees. Now that method might work, but still, pilots will likely have more bargaining power, which means only one thing: airlines should definitely brace themselves. But Delta won't mind arguing prices if that means pilots can come work for them, especially after many new routes they added. And to start with, Delta added 6 new domestic routes. These routes focus on boosting connectivity in the northeast part of the country. Along with this, the airline also made some exciting additions to its international long-haul routes. They announced that there will be a brand new flight connecting Atlanta to Nice, the popular destination on the French Riviera for American tourists. Flights to South Korea and Australia also got a boost, as the airline offered 10 flights a week to the Korean hub Seoul and to Sydney, Australia. But there are more exciting details about this airline that keep it ahead of its competitors, especially their new genius strategy to keep its customers happy. Since baggage coming out late becomes very annoying, Delta decided to compensate its customers for it. The airline created an offer called a 20-minute baggage guarantee, which means that if your baggage isn't on the carousel 20 minutes after the plane's doors opened, you'd get 2,500 miles. So, if you're flying with Delta, make sure to turn on your stopwatch immediately when the doors get opened, because who knows, you might just get lucky. And with all these employee and customer perks, it's no surprise that the airline has won some prestigious awards. Forbes ranked Delta number 6 on its list of world's best employers, and Fortune ranked it number 12 on the most admired companies. Clearly, the airline's great quality consistency is what got it to the top. But life is not a bed of roses, and nothing comes without challenges, and that goes for Delta too. Because despite all the safety measures Delta put in place for its customers, the airline still suffered an encounter, which was so bad that it could have been even life-threatening. On February 12, 2023, passengers aboard a flight from Scotland to New York were scared out of their wits when one of the aircraft wings burst into flames. The fire was caused by a mechanical issue of one of the aircraft's 2 engines, which was pretty unexpected. Although no one got hurt as they discovered it in time and made an emergency landing in Glasgow, it could have easily been a different story altogether. But that's not all, because another challenge Delta faced was an issue raised by their workers, which simply put, is shocking. In the post-pandemic era, the airline faced a major staff shortage, and those that were left were forced to fill in the gap. Due to this, the conducive working atmosphere they used to enjoy wasn't there anymore. Also, there's hardly any break anymore, and they're working more hours for less pay. Every other airline had unions that fought for them, but Delta aggressively resisted it and had only 20% of its over 80,000 employees represented by a union. But if they had a union, they could fight for their rights, which is why in January 2023, they began holding a union organizing drive. It didn't help that pilots who were part of a union got a 34% pay raise over 4 years, while non-unionized workers only got a 5% raise. Along with this, workers also accused the airline of a culture of fear. And since Delta needs their employees to perform well, clearly the airline got caught in a tough position. Which brings out a thought in my mind. Is this why they announced the employees' bonuses in February of 2023? Well, one can only imagine. But despite all the challenges Delta has been facing, the airline still made sure to add a new upgrade. An upgrade which I can confidently say is simply awesome. Starting from 2023, the airline announced that it collaborated with T-Mobile to make free Wi-Fi available on board flights for its SkyMiles members. This is huge, as many other airlines such as Southwest don't offer such. This will make Delta even more loyal customers. But unfortunately, the airline also made some alterations to some of their existing perks, which didn't please customers at all. If everyone is special, no one feels special. This was probably the thought running through the minds of several airlines when they made the huge decision. During the pandemic, airlines had extended frequent flyer status without enforcing them to meet the usual annual threshold. They'd done that because they didn't want non-members to be sidelined. And as a result, several of these frequent customers kept acquiring points that gave them access to exclusive perks they once didn't have access to. The actual VIPs were not pleased by this, as the perks were now very much inclusive. And due to this, several airlines, including Delta, raised spending requirements to enjoy exclusive perks. This announcement definitely didn't sit well with many customers. But to counter it, what Delta revealed about its future plans will at least make customers somewhat feel good. Air travel currently produces more than 2% of human-induced carbon into the atmosphere. But since there's a global shift towards a greener environment, airlines also promised to do their bit. Delta promised to invest $1 billion in sustainability efforts, and that includes the Sustainable Skies Lab. The lab is intended to speed up the research, testing, and designing towards making air travel more sustainable. And the major focus for Delta is net zero emissions by 2050. No wonder this airline is one of the best. However, Delta's not the only thing that's shining. Boeing has also made some huge strides in the aviation market. They've added some new and unique features to their planes, which even includes some that you might think are a bit weird. But what are these unique and weird features that Boeing added? And more importantly, why? I know you want to know more about this, so just click the video right here.